Why, hello there, everyone. Now, I have quite an interesting update to share. I keep on saying I want to pursue my dreams of becoming an artist, but day in and day out, as you can tell through my daily vlogs, if you've chosen to listen to each and every one of them, or at least a few of them, I kind of just let life take me by the horns and spin me around. And I don't take life by its horns and spin it around. I basically let things happen to me instead of making things happen. I've got to say, I'm tired of it. So I'm starting a new YouTube channel, and here's the name. It is called Brain Jam. And the whole point of this channel is going to be me showing my art progress over time. Now, I currently do not have any videos up on this channel, nor a description, but with this new channel that I am making, I would like it to be more edited and thoughtfully crafted than a simple vlog. These vlogs, I literally just film myself talking to the camera about how my day went, and then afterwards, I post it online. Sometimes I go through minimal editing effort. For example, sometimes I put a microphone on my shirt to record. Sometimes I use the audio editing software on my phone to make the video sound more clear. Sometimes I use an app called InShot that has what's known as an AI edit feature where it cuts out all the long pauses so it can just get straight to me talking. I like the fact that I've been consistently doing this vlog, and it's really helped me build a stronger awareness of how I spend my time and how I interact and my thoughts and feelings on things. But I feel like my vlogs just need a little extra oomph to make them seem like something is actually happening, other than just going to work, going out, and recording a few interactions along the way. Now, of course, it is good to record those things, in my opinion, because it helps accumulate better awareness of where I'm at and where I want to be going. But I need to start doing more than that. And that's what the second channel will be about. Now, the thing that's going to be a bit of a fun, interesting challenge about this channel will be finding the time to work on it. And that basically means teaching myself, then recording myself, demonstrating what I've learned in a fun, interesting, quick, and efficient, and entertaining way that keeps the viewer engaged, and then cutting to footage and showing my progress and having interesting and fun highlight reels of how I'm going about my journey as an artist. Because when I do art, that's when I feel like my most fulfilled and happy. So that's definitely something I am going to pursue. So there you go with that. But as for the day itself and what this particular channel is supposed to be about, which is vlogging, let's move on to that. It was a day off. I woke up in the morning and I immediately took out the trash without giving it a second thought. And I also immediately crushed cans without giving it a second thought. After doing that, I decided to go on my phone and watch an alien documentary on this YouTube channel called Area 52, where a bunch of UFO enthusiasts are being interviewed about what they think of alien encounters. And it was quite interesting. Apparently, most of their fascination comes from these beings called the Nordics. As they describe in the video, apparently they're these beings that look pretty similar to humans, but they have Nordic features and long blonde hair and blue eyes. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Wonder why those are recorded. Beings are recorded a whole lot sometimes. But yeah, they basically just went over what they thought about, like why they thought they're here or why they think they're here and what they possibly could be. I remember they said they think they might be humans from the future, for example, and they want to know what exactly their goal is. So that was quite interesting. Then I made a ham and croissant sandwich and watched a special feature from my Wall-E Criterion Collection Blu-ray where the director of the film, Andrew Stanton, broke down the anatomy of a scene, the scene where we first see Wally interact with Eve and take her into his place and show her everything he's fascinated by. And yeah, I was just taken aback by how purposeful and how thoughtfully crafted that film was, and how Andrew Stanton, the director of the film, would always say, he said in this documentary that he finds it extremely important to him that the audience attention usually for something lasts 15 seconds in his mind, and in order to win them over back their attention again, you need to find other things that will keep the story interesting. Like humor offers good reprieve, and then immediately after that a more serious scene which creates that unexpected shock and change in emotion. Yeah, and then surprise at that plan and a complete reversal of how the scene was going before. So I just thought that was a really insightful explanation of how he crafted that scene, and how it was really inspiring to see. I'm not going to lie. So the next special feature that I remember was that the director went through the archives at Pixar. They apparently keep all of the conceptual art and the drawings and the mood boards and everything from the conception of the project all the way to its completion within these Pixar archives. And he went to the film's archive so he could dig up files from the film, these physical files holding old artwork. Apparently the movie started production as early as like 1997, I believe, and the original title was called Trash Planet. And the movie didn't really have a clear enough direction yet. It was basically just conceptual art playing around with the idea of a robot by themselves on a planet filled with trash. And apparently one of the original ideas was that there was going to be aliens who land on the planet and take the robot Wally in, who didn't even have a name yet at the time. Apparently, this movie was actually trying to be more comedic and less dramatic. Of course, the final film does manage to pull off being simultaneously comedic and dramatic at the same time. But this film was going to lean more towards that comedy factor. Apparently, Andrew Stanton, the director, did state that after he did the movie Finding Nemo, it made him realize that he could do more dramatic and serious films, or films that just had more drama in them than he expected he would be able to do. And he took his experiences from working on that film, Finding Nemo, into Wall-E. And so when he developed that story, he apparently said the scene he was most proud of was the scene where Wall-E takes Eve into his shack. And he believes that that was the first scene where he truly found his own voice, and that he felt like he really had clear vision with that scene. So I thought that was very interesting and meaningful. And one of the last things I wanted to talk about from this experience was that apparently he would write down notes on pieces of paper, like one sentence describing like how he thought the film should go in just one sentence, like where it addresses the character, the conflict, and the resolution. And I remember he said that the one that helped him pin the whole plot down was one that said, "Irrational love conquers rational programming," something like that. I don't think that was the exact quote, but it was somewhere along those lines. So I thought that was quite interesting. It really did give me a lot of ideas for when I'm working on my own creative endeavors. That's for sure. And that's one of the big reasons why I watched it in the first place. It was because I need inspiration, ideas, cultivation. And when I see someone who knows how to communicate ideas through story and tell a story really well, it's a good set. It gives me a good sense of direction. Now, after that, I felt a strong urge to work on my YouTube channel, my second one. And I started off by drawing a mascot, and the mascot has this flabby head that kind of sags on his forehead. And this is when he's either oblivious or annoyed or just gets wrapped up in negativity. And I want this character to kind of represent what happens when you begin to explore your consciousness and ideas and really try to understand what brings you satisfaction. And the more you do that, the less the head sags and the more it starts to inflate and grow and expand into something where it shows you are more thoughtful, you are more enlightened, and you just have a better grip on your reality. And that's what I wanted to pursue when I wanted to create sort of a channel mascot, basically. I don't really have a name for this guy yet, so all I can really say is that he looks pretty grumpy in the channel profile, but if you click on it and you look at the channel banner, you see that I did a little thing where he's like walking and he's hearing music come out the other end. His head starts growing because it gives him joy and inspiration and ideas because of the music, which I think is appropriate because when I listen to music personally, I feel like ideas and experiences and inspiration grow within my head. So yeah, I did that. Afterwards, I did some meditation outside, some deep holotropic breathing. That was cool. And I remember as I was closing my eyes and kind of getting deep into it, I started to see silhouetted like images coming at me, and it was like hard to describe. Like I remember seeing like those Chinese dragons, like cartoon looking versions of them, kind of like that dragon from Mulan, the Disney's Mulan, or the dragon from Shaolin Showdown, which I thought was really interesting. And then I started to see like a face like with like eyes peering at me, and like it was kind of hard to describe what kind of face it looked like, but it looked kind of interesting. And then after that I started to see like outlines of a bunch of different cartoons that I enjoyed growing up with, like the most prominent one for, well, probably obvious reasons because it's one of my most favorite shows of all time, SpongeBob. An outline of the character from that show was appearing behind my closed eyes, like, and like zooming in there, and it was like I honestly don't know. I didn't ask like or specifically want these images to be brought up in my head. They just kind of just appeared and I could somehow see them or sense them. I don't know how. I'm not sure how the science behind this or how any of this works, but that's what I saw. I'm just reporting what I saw. Anyways, after watching that, I went into my room and I did a manifestation meditation, trying to manifest abundance. And then after that, had a nice nacho dinner with our family friend who decided she was originally going to go to a retreat with the church, but she decided against it because she wasn't feeling well. So she stayed home and made nachos for me and her. So that was cool. Even got the ice creams too. So that was nice as well. And then afterwards, I remember watching a new video from Preston Dennett talking about various humanoid encounters. And then I just started to get sidetracked with like a bunch of different junk on YouTube. Like a guy who impersonates famous political figures, people all into the whole Trump and Elon breakup thing that's going on right now. And then afterwards, I was watching a YouTube channel called UAP Gerb, a guy talking about a flyby UFO video, which I thought was somewhat interesting. Then I realized, gosh dang it, it's 1:42 in the morning. I should probably record my update video. So that's what I'm doing right now. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Leave a comment saying, let's go, and then I'll know if you made it to the end. Well, anyways, I better get going. Bye, everybody.